Hey, this is Karma Dragoness, and we're going to be playing Cocoron. I don't really have much to say here that I won't be talking about in the run, so if we are ready on the timer, I will.
Ready, count me in.
All right, we are going in 3, 2, 1, go.
Woo! Yeah! Woo!
So this is our tip here, friend who will absolutely not betray us ever whatsoever. You know, absolute friend. Definitely not a dream-eating monster, I mean what? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a character that can fly, move fast, is somewhat tanky, and can shoot for a lot of damage. It doesn't matter which of the 3 heads we pick. We just need to make sure it's one of the ghostly heads, so I think the skull looks the coolest, which is why I picked the skull. If you're doing this, you can pick any of the 3. So we're just going to kind of fly through some milk here in the Milk Sea. Everything is normal here. The whole premise of this game is that we need to create characters in this dream to, you know, save the day. We're gonna run into Blackbeard here, and he's gonna attack us with his ship. And here's where we're gonna make good use of our shurikens. We do not want to touch the ship, but as long as we just kind of hang out up here, we can get rid of them. And one thing I'm gonna talk about right now, we are using Nova the Squirrel's no flashing patch. If you're playing the vanilla cart of this, this game has some of the most intense flashing you will ever see. So just be warned, if you can help it, get the no flashing patch. So we're gonna create a second character. This one does not care about fighting, so we're gonna make it a flighty friend here with a big smiley face that can sometimes sing. They're just gonna do a lot of running, but we're still gonna keep using our Skulldurg friend here. Watch out for these turtles, they do a full bar of health, which, by the way, the health bars, the big blocks are like a full row of the smaller blocks. So if you look at my health right now, I basically just have 2 big blocks of health. Whoops, alright, that's fine. Watch out for these 2 turtles, they are very dangerous. We're not going to be stopping much for power-ups because the shurikens themselves are strong enough to carry us the whole way through. You'll notice I'm kind of like stopping at a couple points here, but that's mostly to make sure that enemies don't get in my way later and or don't slow the game down. Because if you keep just going full speed, it's really easy to have a lot of things kind of stack up at once. So here's the king trapped by the Joker. We're gonna head over here, and with each of these cards, they're gonna throw as many projectiles as the number on the card. So we basically want to try and at least hit the last 1 or 2 of each card to make it so that it moves on to the next card faster. And at this point, I'm probably gonna stop firing so much and just focus on the last one of each. And my usual method of dealing with this is to like go up, down, down, kind of repeat like that. And then 1 more of these. And then I'm gonna sneak 2 shurikens past, oh, never mind. Messed up the timing on that. Each of these take 3 hits except for the final one, which we're gonna have to mash down a bit. Easy. All of the bosses in this game, you kind of have to mash down a fair bit, and usually you're gonna have to also be holding the flight button on A while you're doing that, so it's a slightly different kind of mashing than you might be used to in other games, but it's not too bad once you get used to it. So for our third character, we're going to be making either a pumpkin or a clown boat. I'm choosing the pumpkin because I do not wish for this game to self-destruct. Just ask Cat. And we're going to be taking the pencil weapon because it's lightweight and goes in a straight line. It is enough to deal with the enemies that we need to deal with. Also, one thing that's really neat about this game that I haven't talked about yet is for each stage that you can start on and each stage that you can go to, there is a different stage that you play in the intermediate area. Oh, hello. That's fine. This is what I get for deviating slightly from my path. But yeah, there's basically, I want to say, like, what, 21 different stages that you can go through on the main map. And all you need to do to start is get through the 5 different locations. So that's pretty rad. I keep getting hit by that and I don't like it. Clearly I need to hit up the practice room on this again. One thing about this character is that it doesn't fly quite as far as if it had a lighter head, but it still moves just as fast. So I specifically moved to a ghost head so I could tank a couple more hits on purpose at a few places. Anyway, that was Santa Claus trapped by a big scary dragon, which is actually just this little dragon in a giant ice casing. And the general trick for that is that you want to take body checks rather than shots from the dragon itself. So that's why once I freed it from the ice, I kind of just got right up in its face and started mashing. At this point, we have all the characters that we want to make, so I'm going to go ahead and just make a bunch of filler characters. And the first one we're going to make by mashing A all the way through. Wow, very original character. We're still going to keep using Skolderg here. Gonna fly by these real cute penguins for a little bit here. Don't hold left at the start of this screen or you'll fall into that pit. And I always make the joke that this is the most Cocoron screen of Cocoron every time I fly by here. You got your pink whales, the eclairs you're jumping on, flying elephants. You know, just typical Cocoron stuff. Here's Harvest Moon. It's gonna spawn in one of 3 locations once it does show up. So we're gonna hope for, well, it actually doesn't really matter all that much because we can just move. But this one is good because it just means we can just sit and mash. The stars that are rotating around actually instant kill you if you touch them while they're still attached to the moon, but once they actually get shot as projectiles, they do a lot less damage. Gonna make another junk character here, and I'm gonna hit right and A a little bit here. For the heads and bodies, you have a limited number of each that you can use. So that's why I kind of gotta like put a little bit of effort into making junk characters. And this song is always the one that makes me think of it, but this game was made by Takaru, which were basically, to my understanding, a bunch of Mega Man 2 devs that left Capcom after making that. And, well, you can kind of hear it in this song. Very Mega Man vibes. Very man. Wow. Gonna shoot a couple shurikens to hit these. Oh, dang it. We were hoping to get rid of that lion before it became a problem, and then I just accidentally shot a little too early there. Anyway, here's Titania. Looking great. However, we must fight. There we go. And so that's all 5 of the main bosses down. Next up, we are going to make another character, because why not, right? Tapir, definitely still here, definitely still our friend. Definitely not about to be revealed to us as the villain of the game or anything. See, look, right there. We still got the spots on the screen. Okay, maybe I'm playing that up a little too much, but you know. Anyway, normally this would be a spot where you'd get a ton of flashing, so I'm quite thankful that we are playing with the no flashing patch. And oh, the spots are gone. Tapir is actually evil. And we don't have any bosses to fight for a little bit, so we're just going to take our little flying smiley face friend here. And we're just going to go real fast. Whee! Oh, hello. That's fine. We usually take a hit there. The best part is if you jump up and hit the ceiling and you keep flying, you're generally at just the right height to stay above enemies. So our little flying friend here is very good at dodging most of the things here. Anyway, all of our other friends got kidnapped, so we only have our flying friend here. And we're gonna go through a bit of a gauntlet of stages that are a little bit spooky, just because if you die at any point during these stages when getting your other characters back, you have to reset to the beginning of this stage right here that I'm playing right now. So we're gonna try really hard not to die for the next 5 stages. And we're just gonna keep sticking with this friend here, even though we're getting some of the others, just because none of these stages have bosses until the last of them. But even then, you get an opportunity to swap characters. Whoop. Take a little platform there, intentional hit, drop the 4 turtles, then drop down ourselves. Thankfully, these are really short stages. Although the part that sucks about that is this song is like, the song that plays during this is one of the catchiest tunes, and it goes on for so much longer than you'll probably ever hear it. Alright, one more stage. Pick your desert state of choice. This is it, probably. I have called it many states before. I don't even know anymore. We have Nevada. Alright, this is Nevada. Alright, bye Nevada. by a very stunning victory of 1 vote. Alright, and so next up this is my little addition to the route, is this boat. And this is why we made the boat. So the reason why we want the pencils is because those one-shot these fish. The speedrun route used to just be to fly through this, but you know, why not just ride a boat? Easy. That stage is actually a little bit precarious because each of the cacti do 1 big health of damage, so if you get hit by cactus twice, you die and have to start that whole section over again. But the fish are fine to get hit by. And then here we actually want to swatch back to Skuldurg, just because these penguins are actually a little bit tanky, so the shurikens help us with dealing with them in 1 shot, and Skuldurg still goes fast. I've experimented with trying to make another character specifically to deal with this stage, but it's never been worth the time it takes to create the character deliberately. Anyway, we have all our characters back. So now we're just going to head over to the Tapir 1 fight, which, yes, there are multiple. And by that I mean 2. This is the, yeah. This fight is the easier version. It's kind of just like a... Once you beat this, it's kind of a checkpoint. So I'm going to try and keep getting double hits, because every time you hit them, they go invulnerable. And getting the timing for a double, or even a triple hit if you can mash fast enough for it, which I can't, allows you to do more per cycle. But yeah, that is now a checkpoint. We are moving into the final stage, so if we were to die and game over at this point onward, we would at least start here. Need to hit the ground here and then do a full height jump. Oh, okay, that's fine. I usually try and hover at that same height and land, but that's whatever. Anyway, I hope y'all are prepared for the cutest enemies in the game. These cheerleaders right here. Absolutely my favorite. I don't even care if they're like little tapirs, sheep, goats, whatever. I just love them so much. Okay, those flames are a little bit scary because they do a full bar of health as well. So I'm trying to be very careful not to take a hit from them, but also going fast. This penguin is usually one I just kind of tank the hit from because basically it comes down to how many hits I can take on the final boss, and taking a hit from the penguin doesn't change that at all. So here's the final boss, Tapir 2. The only difference is that when they shoot eggs in retaliation, it's a fan of 5 instead of 3, which actually changes so much to the point where this is often the reason why runs fail or people drop the game, because it is such a difference between the 3 and 5. Time will stop when the song ends, so time. 16:14, better than my time earlier. I'm actually pretty happy with that one. So we get a little credit sequence here that shows us all our characters. And it also gives us an in-game time at the end of the sequence if we want to go to that.
Absolutely.
Alright, cool. I forget what my
901.
Oh yeah, 901 was earlier's time, so
Why I remember like that of all things. It's like, oh yeah.
yeah. So I'm looking forward to that being probably a fair bit smaller because I didn't die on a longer sequence. It was just in a quick stage. But yeah, this game rules. There's a lot of fun things that you can do with it, and Elia made a really fun little site that gives you like random builds to use and a random path to take. So there's no like official randomizer, but there's like a.
But it's almost like the Final Fantasy V 4-job Fiesta. It's just like,
Yeah, like the 4-job Fiesta.
Make these characters.
Yeah.
Game with them.
And that's a really fun way to race it. And there's
Oh, yeah,
some
so
settings.
It's basically like seated.
Yeah. I used to run that with Kat every now and then.
Very cool.
Coming up on the end here. I'm hoping this will at least be like a low 8 or something, because
I mean, the other one was 901. I feel like this has to have an 8 handle, right?
yeah. I feel like my boss kills were a lot faster this time around too.
Yeah, oh yeah, that last one in particular, that you were having trouble catching cycles.
Yeah.
With like the previous one, this one is really clean. So, at least it looked, to me, it looked really clean.
Hey, alright, well 842.
It's an 8.
It's an 8.
I like an 8. Anything else you'd like to say?
No. Thanks for having me.